Hello, everyone. This is Tommy, World at War Comics. I am the creator and writer of the comic book Kingsville. You could get issue 1 right now at worldatwarcomics.com, or you could go to our TikTok page, World at War Comics, and buy it in the TikTok shop. Available both areas. We even have it on eBay if that's where you'd like to shop. Just search Kingsville by World at War Comics. We also have issue 2 coming in the next couple of weeks, so stay tuned. All right, before we get into our next interview, we would love it if you would hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit that ring bell. That way you're notified anytime amazing interviews are taking place, and that would help out the channel a lot. Also, I want to remind everyone that the podcast is brought to you by Cien Chilies, the best hot sauce you could buy, CIENCHILES.com. Use comics at checkout, save 15%. It's also brought to you by our good friends at Comic Crusaders. I'm a member of Comic Crusaders. I write reviews of comics. It's the best site for comic book reviews, movie reviews, music reviews, and they even do a ton of amazing interviews with the Comic Crusaders podcast. All right, without further ado, our guest today is Terry Finley, owner of Swallowtail Comics, here to talk about Dawn, their latest Kickstarter that is about to drop very soon. Without further ado, here's Terry and I. Thanks, everybody. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to World at War Comics. Today, my special guest, Mr. Terry Finley, writer, creator of Dawn, a new Kickstarter that's about to drop on a new comic at the end of the month. Super excited to talk about that. Terry, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. Real good.
Nice, man. Nice. Well, I mean, I want to get into Dawn, obviously. I checked out the Kickstarter and I hit the notify button, so I can't wait to see that thing go live to learn a little bit more about it. But maybe before we jump into Dawn, we could kind of talk about just comics in general and how you started getting into comics. Do you remember like your first comic or when you started getting the passion for comics?
All right, so when I was like, I want to say I was like 5, they
Yeah,
used to have like these little Spider-Man kids books where you play different sports, baseball, soccer, things like
nice.
that. I had all those. But
Yeah,
my uncle, he really got me into comics. He was big on the Incredible Hulk and things like that, seeing all the Marvel movies, different
nice.
stuff like that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Do you remember what your first actual comic book was after that Spider-Man one? Do you remember holding your first like floppy comic book,
It was
like a
one of my
hand-me-down
uncles.
from your uncle?
Yeah. So he had like Shang-Chi and things like that. But the
Yeah,
first one I took a look at was like, I think it was like an Iron Man issue.
yeah, yeah.
But like back then they were, I don't know, it was real flimsy. So I don't, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's cool, man. So you kind of grew up on the Marvel side, or did you get into any DC when you were younger?
So I grew up on the Marvel side, but nowadays I'm more DC. DC.
Are you? Right on,
Yeah.
man. Well, that's cool, man. So, as far as like creating a comic, when did you get that bug to try and create a comic on your own? When did that start?
It had to be, I was in high school. I started
Yeah.
like taking creative writing classes and things like that. And writing was just something I like to do. So as soon as I graduated, I was like, I want to try to be creative, try to make a little comic book here and there. It
Yeah.
always didn't pan out because, financial reasons, things like that. But
Yeah.
now I feel like I'm on the right track.
Oh, that's cool, man. So, as far as your comic Dawn, when did that creation start? Is that brand new and something that you created recently, or did this idea for Dawn kind of start in high school and now you're putting it all together for the first time?
This is newer. I want to say
Okay.
about 2 years ago, I started working on this one.
Yeah.
Friend came to me and he was like, he's big on comic. He loves DC and stuff like that. And he
Yeah.
was like, I want to make a comic universe with him. And this is the first thing we popped out.
That's cool, man. And it does Dawn, the comic book, like the main character, right? Her name is Pacari, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, right? Does she like, is that someone close to you? Like, did you create a character based off of someone close to you, or is this all made up? Like, no one that you're.
Uh, now this one right here is all made up.
Oh, okay. Because sometimes, like, I've written a comic and like my wife is one of the lead ones. Just her name doesn't look like her, but I
Yeah.
sometimes creators will use family members or friends or something like that to create characters. So I always like to ask that.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. All made up though, huh?
Yeah, this one's all made up.
Right on, man. Well, that passion for writing that started in high school as well.
It started a little bit before high school, probably
Okay.
like early middle school days.
Yeah.
But as in high school, it kind of snowballed into something else.
Yeah, yeah. So how many different ideas do you think you created during that time in high school when that passion was really strong?
A lot. Like I
Yeah.
like manga,
Yeah.
comics, just anything. Like I just write a short story, no reason, just throw it away.
That's cool, man. So you grew up watching a lot of manga as well? Anime and
Yeah,
stuff from manga? Yeah.
yeah.
That's cool. Who's your favorite?
My favorite anime character
Yeah.
or manga character. That's a hard one. I feel like a lot of people like to say Dragon Ball Z and things like that, Naruto. But I'm a big guy on Bleach. I like Ichigo, Rukia,
Yeah.
things like that.
Right on.
That's my favorite. Yeah.
Cool. That's cool, man. So you got Crunchyroll at home and you're busting through all the different shows on that? Because some of
Oh
those
yeah,
shows right,
definitely.
aren't on Netflix and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Crunchyroll is that go-to for that nowadays.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's cool, man. Well, let's get into the story a little bit, man. What is Dawn all about?
All right, so Dawn is basically this is the first book in the Star universe,
Yeah.
and she she's a girl who looks up to heroes, but she's a hero herself.
Hmm.
She wants to be a symbol of hope because I like Superman stories. Superman stories to be hopeful, things like that. So
Yeah.
that's a big inspiration for it.
Hmm.
And her sister, they're like best friends, close, very close.
Yeah.
And it's more like a dynamic of her sister wants to stay in the shadows. She wants to do hero work, but she doesn't need everybody to know it.
Yeah. Yeah.
While she wants to be more of that upfront person, kids can smile at, talk about, things like that.
Yeah. So her sister and her both have powers then?
No, her sister doesn't have power. So
Oh,
in
gotcha.
the story, you'll find out Pacari is adopted into the family.
Okay.
So that's where that dynamic comes in.
Nice, man. What was the hardest part about creating the comic?
The hardest part, I just making it all come together.
Yeah.
Like because my first issue was 45 pages.
Oh, wow.
So like just making a strong story that connects throughout and able
Mhm.
to introduce other characters throughout the way.
Yeah, yeah. And who's your artist on this?
Peter Kacha,
Okay. I mean,
yeah,
I always
he's
see like the first page on the Kickstarter and it looks awesome, man. The art looks really good.
oh yeah, he's a gem for sure.
Yeah. And how's that relationship and that back and forth as a writer with an artist, like trying to stay on the same page? Because in comics, you're limited to how much you could actually say in words. So the art really needs to tell a portion of that story too. So how often are you guys or gal, I don't know who it is, but how often are you going back and forth with your artist to ensure that that story comes forth?
Actually, not that much. I use a lot of picture references, like after I type words and stuff out,
Yeah,
and most of the time he hits it right on the head.
that's nice, man.
Yeah,
That's nice. So he's done comics before?
yeah, he's done a couple. I think he's drawing one for a guy named Domino Comics on Instagram,
Okay,
and he's done like other Kickstarters and things like that.
nice. That's cool, man. That's awesome, man. And then as far as the Kickstarter goes, how difficult is it to put all that together with all the information, man?
That's been tough.
Yeah,
Like just like getting all the like details and stuff set up for it, and it's been rough.
yeah, yeah. It is, man. It's kind of a pain to be quite honest, man. It seems like it could be a little bit easier, maybe.
Definitely.
Right on, man. So what's the goal of the Kickstarter? Do you have your goal set yet?
Yeah, I was thinking 1,200.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is, 1,200. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just something where I can use to print the books out and things like that, because basically artwork's basically all done, things like that. Last finishing touch we gotta do is put some lettering in there,
Yep.
and that'll be it.
Yeah. Are you doing the lettering yourself, Terry?
No, I'm not. I'm gonna go with comic lettering for that.
Oh, very good, man. Yeah, they do a good job. That's cool, man. Well, cool, man. I mean, so you have Dawn coming out. Then you said you were working on a bunch of other stuff too. So you and your partner are creating this whole universe. How far along are you in character development for this universe? And when can we see after Dawn? Like, how quickly do you want to kind of get back in there and get started with your next issue?
All right, so for Done #2, I've already started writing that issue,
Nice.
and Mighty Man #1's already complete.
Yeah.
But the book that I want to release after Done is called Moonlight, It's basically you Marvel, Ronin, Hawkeye type thing,
Yeah.
but it'll be more of a like adult story,
Hmm.
things like that. So you can introduce a darker side to the world.
Yeah. Is Dawn a little bit more of a mature audience style of book or?
Now she's more of a teen PG-13,
Okay. Yeah.
stuff like that.
Right
Yeah.
on, man. Was there any influences that helped you in creating Dawn or just creating comic books? Any other writers that you look up to in the comic book world that you've kind of patterned yourself after, maybe?
I'm a big fan of Robert Kirkman. I love Invincible,
Yeah, me too,
things
man.
like, and I also like the Jeff Johns run on Green Lantern.
Oh yeah, for
So
sure.
that was a lot of inspiration. 'Cause I plan on taking Dunn throughout space, things like that.
Oh, that's cool, man. A little sci-fi then. Would you consider Dawn to be more of a sci-fi action or is it just a blend of a bunch of different genres?
I feel like it's a blend because with her sister being Lady Strick, she's more of a Batgirl type character, more mystery detective type thing.
Hmm.
And I want to blend that into it. But later on, I think it's going to evolve out, but it'll still have a detective mystery side to it.
Yeah, yeah. No, Jeff Johns has one of the craziest, I think 10 years on Green Lantern or something crazy like that, man. He's an
Yeah,
amazing writer. Legend for sure.
definitely.
Yeah, yeah. That's cool, man. Well, what else can you tell us about your comic coming out, man? Anything we're leaving out?
Hmm. I don't know. I don't want to give too much away,
Yeah, yeah, for sure. For sure.
but if you like things like, if you like Supergirl, Superman, Captain Marvel type power set, things like that, I think
Yeah.
this would be the book for you.
That's cool,
Yeah.
man. That's cool. And as far as kind of reaching out, have you been able to reach out to any other creators for feedback or mentorship? I know you said Jeff Johns and Robert Kirkman, which I agree. I mean, if you could pattern yourself as a writer after those two, I think you're going to do all right. I think they've done okay with their career, right? But
Oh yeah.
is there any others that you've kind of connected on TikTok or Instagram that have been a help for you?
Um, Now I've asked Domino Comics a lot,
Yeah.
and I've talked to Ounce Comics and things like that. Get feedback on certain things. But other than outside of my Instagram community, nah.
Yeah, yeah. That's cool, man. That's awesome. And where do you see Swallowtail Comics in the next like 5 years? Where do you think you'll be at as far as comics and the universe and all that? Have you thought about that?
5 years, and I haven't thought that far yet. We thought about maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What does it look
seeing
like in 2 or 3 then?
2 or 3. Plan on having like multiple books out. Starting our first event or something like that, and mm, I don't know, just growing, I guess.
Yeah. Is there one thing that you could think of that you wish you had more of as you were creating a comic book, like a certain experience or anything?
Yeah, I wish I had more of a solid idea of what I wanted to do, like when I first started, because
Yeah.
I rewrote done almost 100 times. It feels like.
Yeah, yeah. You feel pretty satisfied where you landed then after all that
Yeah,
background of writing and starting over and all that?
yeah. I had called in James Powell to help me edit the book, and yeah, I feel like we're in a good spot.
That's awesome, man. That's cool. That feels good, right?
So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's cool, man. Well, Terry, man, I think it's pretty awesome, man. What we'll do is we're gonna make sure that we have that link everywhere and we'll post this everywhere because we want to make sure that when you do go live at the end of the month, man, people know how to find you. As far as like social media, where are you right now under Swallowtail Comics and how can people follow you?
We have Instagram, Twitter, and I'm working on getting the Facebook up and running, but I'm not really used to Facebook like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
right now, just Instagram and Twitter.
What about
It'd be at
TikTok? Are you guys on
Swallowtail.
TikTok or no?
Oh yeah, we do have a TikTok, and
Do
that's the
you?
same name, Swallowtail Comics. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool, man. So if anybody wants to follow and get updates, that's where they should find you.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Very good, man. Well, that's pretty awesome, man. As far as like you growing up, you said you started off kind of Marvel, then went into DC. What was the attraction to the DC side of it that kind of captured you?
I was for DC. This character just felt realer, I
Yeah,
guess, more grounded.
yeah,
It was less reality type things, less I guess stuff like that.
yeah.
And I was big on Batman, like Arkham City came out video game wise and stuff like that. I just loved Batman at the time. But then that kind of shifted towards Wonder Woman more because she was both were physical, magical, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
She was basically super. She wasn't as strong as Superman, but she was a
Pretty
heavy
much.
hitter, things
Yeah,
like
for
that.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
that's what that happened. Yeah.
That's pretty cool, man. And do you like where you're at, do you have some pretty cool Comic Cons that you plan on doing once the issue is out?
We're hoping to get to next San Diego Comic Con
Ooh.
because I have a friend who was recently he went to the red carpet for Across Spider Verse with Metro Boomin and all that,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he got us a good little connection there that we can come through there that next time.
That's cool, man. That's big time right there, man. I went this year just one day and it was so crowded you couldn't even walk. It was packed, man. And, they had the strike, so like the writers and the all the actors and actresses weren't there. So the comic
Yeah,
side of the building, man, you just couldn't even walk. It was awesome to see. Because a lot of times, right, you go and it's Hall H where all the movie trailers and all the announcements take place. So you have a lot of fandom on that side of the building, which keeps it pretty open. But not this year, man. It was packed. It was pretty awesome, man. So I'm hoping it's that kind of excitement on the comic book side of it next year. Again, you need the movie stuff. I love the movies, but sometimes I feel like that's taken over, and it's
oh
called a
yeah,
comic con, not a movie thon. And so sometimes I'm like, man, I don't feel like it's much of a comic con anymore. It's more of a movie thon, but it's all good, man. It's all good. Have you
yeah.
been?
That's what I was hoping for. Oh no, I've never been to one before.
Have you been one like a local one that you could go to? I think in Alabama. I'm trying to remember the one. I think it just happened not too long ago. They have one there too. I don't know if it's
I
in,
think it was one in Birmingham.
yeah, either I think Birmingham or Mobile.
My girlfriend went to the one in Birmingham. I didn't get to go this year.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully she was able to scope things out for you because I heard it's a pretty fun one.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
what she sent me a couple pictures, things like that.
yeah. Right on, man. Well, that's cool, man. How many characters have you developed for issue one?
For
Obviously, we
issue one.
have the main character, right? But
Yeah.
you have quite a few characters that you're revealing in issue one, or most of them will come later on.
For heroes wise and villains, I want to say in all it might be like five.
Nice, nice. Yeah. What do you enjoy about character development like that?
Definitely the designs, just
Yeah,
make them look cool.
yeah,
I
yeah,
can't beat that.
yeah. Her outfit is pretty unique, man. Her
Oh yeah.
uniform is very unique.
Mhm.
I'm not sure I've seen anything like that.
I'm trying to think. I mixed it like
Like with
mixed
the
it with Miss
legs.
Marvel. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, things like that. Her costume that she's gonna get later on, hopefully. I think that's gonna be the best one.
yeah. Right on, man. Well, what could people do to help you up until your Kickstarter? Obviously, they could support your Kickstarter, but from now up until that point, what would you like people to help doing?
I say just share. I feel like monetary, I mean, that's always helpful, but just getting the word out there is just
Yeah,
the
yeah,
best way you can do it.
yeah. Are you upping your game on Instagram and TikTok like that to try and post more stuff that could be
Yeah,
shared? Yeah,
I
that's
got a
cool.
lot of stuff saved up and hopefully I get a good flow going.
Nice, man. Yeah, I mean, if anybody's listening to this, go to Swallowtail Comics on Instagram and on TikTok, and I think it's the same on Twitter, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and that way you could support Terry, get all the up to date news on Dawn, and get ready for that Kickstarter that's going to happen at the end of the month. It'll be pretty exciting.
oh, yeah.
Right on, man. Well, Terry, man, I really appreciate you jumping on. I appreciate you sharing everything that you got going on right now, man. It's a pleasure meeting you. If there's something that I could do, please let me know. I'll be sure to put all the links below. That way people know where to go. At least they could hit that notify button right now on Kickstarter. That way, when you do go live, they're aware of it and they could jump over to the page and make sure they support you. And then I'll tag you on everything. That way people know how to follow you on Instagram, Twitter, and on TikTok. But if there's anything else I could do for you, Terry, please let us know, man. Look forward to checking out Dawn, and I wish you all the best, my friend.
Thanks. It means a lot.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You have a great rest of your Sunday, man, and have a great week. All right.
You too.
All right. Thanks, Terry. All right. Hang on, man. Hang on.
Bye.